I used to attract relationships that were unhealthy, relationships that were toxic, relationships that were abusive, and relationships that just didn't serve me for my highest good. And in today's video, I want to share with you the 8 dating rules that I've implemented into my life that have completely transformed and changed not only my life, but my dating life as well. So I hope that these 8 dating rules that I've implemented into my life will help you as you embark on your dating journey. Whether you're a single mom, whether you've gotten out of a toxic relationship, or whether you're like me, someone who's been single for a very, very long time. The first rule that I implemented in my dating life is something that I never used to do before, and that is that I don't date people that I'm not physically attracted to anymore. And the reason for this is because you should never ever date somebody that you're not physically attracted to. One of the 5 pillars of compatibility is physical compatibility. So if you're not physically attracted to somebody, there is no point in trying to date them for their personality. You're not only doing a disservice for yourself, but you're doing a disservice for them as well. You're not giving them the space or the opportunity to meet people who are actually genuinely physically attracted to them. And what ends up happening is if you date somebody that you're not physically attracted to and you find that there's certain physical aspects that are turnoffs or that give you the ick, you'll end up resenting them for having those physical aspects that they can't do anything about. So there's nothing vain and there's nothing shallow about dating people that you're not physically attracted to. When people tell you that you'll learn to love them for who they are, or that looks aren't everything, or that maybe you'll eventually be attracted to them, they're missing the entire point of a romantic relationship and getting into a conscious union with someone. And that is the importance of being able to be connected to your person on all different levels: physical level, emotional, mental, financial, and spiritual. In order for a relationship to last, in order for a union to be divine, in order for 2 people to consciously come together, they have to be an energetic match on all those 5 pillars. And so having physical attraction to the individual that you're with is really important. And that's why I implemented the rule of no longer dating people that I wasn't physically attracted to. I did it, been there, done that. I dated people for their personality. I dated people that were not my type. I did all those things. And guess what? I still ended up single. So no, it doesn't mean that you're vain and it doesn't mean that you're shallow. It means that you are in alignment with that which is important to you and that which are your values. This second rule has helped me weed out a lot of duds. And this is a rule that I implemented this time around that I never implemented in the past. And it's been a really big game changer for me. So I hope that if you feel aligned to it, you start embodying it and using it as well in your life, because you are going to see this crazy change that happens in the type of people that you attract and the types of dates that you go on. And that is that I have a 3-month no intimacy, no exclusivity rule. This means no kissing, no sleepovers, no form of intimacy or touching or any of that. And I'm not exclusive with anybody. This helps me to weed out the low value men, because trust me, the garbage always takes itself out. So I can quickly see the men who are trying to hit it and quit it, or the guys who are fakers or who drag it along, right? I'll have a couple of guys, and I've experienced this, where they'll take me on a few dates and thinking that, maybe by date 3 or 4, I might end up like sleeping with them or do something with them. And when they realize that I am dead serious and uphold my rule of no intimacy for the first 3 months, they end up showing themselves the door. For those of you that have anxious attachment style, having the 3-month no intimacy and no kissing, no exclusivity rule really helps you with practicing detachment. It's helped me a ton as well, because if things don't work out with somebody, I'm not feeling like I'm attached to them on any level. I just simply understand that we're not a match. It also is a deeper level of self-respect, in my opinion. I find that I have a lot more respect for myself because I'm not just gonna sleep around with anybody. Sleeping around, being intimate is a form of an energetic exchange, and I'm not interested in exchanging my energy with just about anybody. I'm very particular and selective. And so through this process, I've been able to weed out the men who are low vibrational, the men who are low value, and the men who really don't respect me or won't respect me and are not a good match for me in a romantic relationship. Speaking of low value, I also don't go on what I consider to be low value or low effort dates. I don't do dates in the park. work. I don't do dates for a quick coffee. I don't do dates where we split the bill. And some people may call me traditional, and some people may have other words to say about me. But the way I look at it is I respect myself. I am valuable. I am worthy. And the right man will commit the right amount of effort and the right amount of time to take me out and to wine and dine me and to show me a wonderful, respectful evening without expecting anything in return. If somebody turns around and tells me within the first few days of talking that they want me to go over to their house so that they can cook me dinner, we all know why they're inviting me to their house, okay? And so when guys do that, when guys are inviting you over to their house, or they're planning these low effort dates, or they're turning around and saying, what do you want to do? What do you feel like doing? That means that they have no intention of putting in any effort into getting to know you or putting any effort into the connection that they have with you. And if they're already showing you that in the beginning of your relationship, in the beginning of you two getting to know each other, well, you can expect that that will be a pattern that will continue to exist if you were to get into a relationship with them. Men will show you very early on who they are, and men will test women. They will see what they can get away with. So if a man tries to get away with low effort with you in the very beginning and you excuse and permit that type of behavior, then guess what's going to happen? They're going to continue that same pattern, and you're going to feel unfulfilled, and you're going to feel unloved, and you're going to feel like your partner isn't putting in any effort when you've been with them for 2 years. And that's because you've allowed that to happen from the very beginning. And that's exactly why I have my rule of no low effort or low value dates. If you're feeling really stuck and really unhappy in your love life, if you feel like you're not able to attract the right type of man into your life, or you're feeling like you keep meeting individuals who are not in alignment with you, take a look at the description box below and book a 1-hour session with me. I'll happily help you out through cosmic coaching, through tarot reading, through doing all types of spiritual energetic work with you to uncover where your blockages are and what is stopping you from aligning with your divine partner. Now, as a single mom, some people may criticize me for my next rule, but it's because I'm a single mom that I have this rule in place, okay? And that is that I will not date men who have multiple children with multiple different women. That is a hard no for me. It is a 1000% thank you, no thank you. Have a good time. There may be a woman for you, but that woman isn't me. And here's why, okay? I'm going to break down exactly why I will not date a man who has multiple children with multiple different women. If one person is incapable of understanding the importance, okay, of making sure that they're not just sleeping with people and getting them pregnant and then moving on to the next one, they have no respect for themselves and they have no respect for the lives that they impact. So when I see a man who has multiple baby mamas, that's telling me that he's not a man women want around. He's a man that women were willing to walk away from because of his poor behavior. He might be toxic. He might be abusive. He might just be a shitty partner. But whatever it is, these women feel like he's not good enough. So they leave him and are rather be single moms than have to deal with him. And that is a huge red flag. And if it's the man who's always saying that his exes are crazy and that he has all these relationships because all of his exes are crazy, that's a whole other red flag on its own. If one man has multiple baby mamas and they're all crazy, or he tells these grandiose stories about why it didn't work out with each of them, you can bet your bottom dollar there's a lie there. There's something there that's not adding up. The dots, they're not connecting, okay? Things are not lining up. This is exactly why I won't date a man who has multiple baby mamas, because chances are if he has multiple baby mamas or if he has children scattered around the world, there's something wrong with him. There's something mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, there's something that is not right with him. You know the saying, actions speak louder than words? Well, that saying has so much weight and so much validity when you are getting to know somebody, and it's one of my dating rules. I pay attention very carefully, not to what people say, but to how people behave, how they act, their actions. Are they making an effort, a concentrated effort to get to know me? Are they asking questions about me, the things I like? Are they putting in that extra effort, holding the door open for me, picking me up on a date? Asking what kind of flowers I like and then showing up to my house with those flowers, or randomly sending me those flowers, planning dates in ahead, putting in that effort, putting in that time, getting to know the kinds of foods that I like, the kind of environments that I enjoy, or what I like doing on dates. How much effort is a man putting into getting to know me, and how much effort is a man putting in to the dates that we go on, the dates that he initiates, the dates that he puts together, and the dates that he invites me on. I pay attention to all of that because actions speak louder than words. A guy can tell you he loves you, he thinks you're the most amazing thing in the whole world, that you're like his dream person, he's gonna do all these things, and he can turn around and treat you like absolute shit. Speaking of alignment, the next dating rule I have is making sure that the person who I'm dating or the person who I'm seeing has the same values as mine, or values align with mine. If their values don't align with mine, if their way of living doesn't align with my way of living, if their hobbies, their interests, their pastime, their goals, their ambitions, where they want to be in 5 years, 10 years, how they want to retire, how they want to live their life, the foods they eat, their extracurricular activities, etc. If their lifestyle is not an energetic match or in alignment with my values and my lifestyle, I know that that relationship will never go the distance. And I know that relationship will never last because it's not an energetic match. It's not two people who are in alignment, who can co-create together and build a life and a future together. And I'm not dating to date, I'm dating to marry. And that's really important to understand. You need to decide if you're dating to date or if you're dating to marry. If you're dating to marry, you need to think about things long term. You need to think about what your relationship is going to look like in 5 years, in 10 years, when you retire. If their values are completely different than mine, then our lifestyles are not going to be the same. Our lives are not going to be the same. And that relationship will always experience friction and difficulties and challenges and obstacles. If you don't know what your values are, if you don't know what your core values are, or your negotiables or your non-negotiable values are, if I'm talking about values and you're like, what the heck are those, Char? What are those? I don't even know what those are. Take a look at the description box below and download my free values exercise worksheet. It will help you in setting the right foundation and the right roots so that when you are going on these dates, when you are meeting these potential suitable gentlemen, they are the right match for you. They are in alignment with you because you'll have a clear understanding of what your needs are, what your wants are, and what your values are in your life. When you first meet someone, you do not need to be texting them day in and day out, continuously, ongoing, etc. And there's a reason for this. You don't know them. They're not your boyfriend. They're not your fiance. You're not in a relationship with them. So you don't need to be spending all this time creating a false sense of security and a false sense of enmeshment or connection via text. And because of this, one of the rules I have is that I don't entertain ongoing texting without any initiatives or any plans in place. This means that if I'm talking to somebody new and they ask me for my number and then they're texting me for weeks on end but never making a date plan with me, I'm cutting that boy off. That's a boy. That's not a man. I'm not interested in that. Thank you. No, thank you. All right. They need to be making actionable next steps in getting to know me. And the same thing for you if you're going to apply that rule in your life. When a man asks you for your number, they're not just texting you to text and waste your fucking time. They're texting you to make a plan. They're letting you know, hey, are you free this Friday? Hey, are you free this Saturday? Hey, are you free this Thursday? Hey, from this time to this time, I was thinking we go to, whatever, the baseball game. I don't know. Dinner, are you available? I'd like to make this plan with you. If they are not initiating any next steps in your connection, and if they're just texting you to shoot the shit and waste your time, that is not a high value man. That is not a man that is interested in getting to know you. That is not a man that's interested in courting you. And that is not a man that's interested in moving things along with you. They are using you as filler to take up space and to take up time in their life because they're bored and because they want to keep their options open. The last dating rule that I'll share with you is a rule that you can implement and start using very early on, but it actually really reveals itself the more that you get to know somebody. So if you've been seeing somebody for a few weeks or a month, you can really implement this rule and start observing it in real time. And that is that I start paying attention to their behaviors and I start recognizing whether or not the 5 pillars of compatibility are existing in the connection. Remember, on the first or second date, this person is going to be on their best behavior, okay? They better be anyways. And if they're not, okay, we're going to shoo-shoo, right? We're going to shoo-shoo, okay? But as you get to know people, you get to see them for who they are. Their authenticity comes through as they're able to remove their mask, as they feel more comfortable with you, etc. So these are the opportunities where you get to pay attention to their behavior. And when you're paying attention to their behavior, you're going to want to pay attention to whether or not the 5 pillars of compatibility are present. When you don't have the 5 compatibility markers, the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and financial, then the person that you're dating is not going to be a good fit for you long term. Remember, you're dating to marry. Are you not? What are you doing? Are you dating to waste your time? I don't know, maybe if you're like in your early 20s, I guess, but I'm not. So hopefully this video helped you out. Hopefully this video inspired you to implement some rules that will really help change your dating life around. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you've experienced dating like really shitty toxic men, and then all of a sudden you implement these rules into your life and you start seeing your dating life completely turn around, drop it in the comments below. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you watch the video after this one, because if you're still single, there may be a specific reason why you're still single, and I reveal that in the video coming up after this one. We will see you later, alligator. Peace out. Bye.